श्री सुनील बजाज साहब का कि सर आए और अपने 2 शब्दों से आज के कार्यक्रम के बारे में आवश्यक दिशा निर्देश और अपना आशीर्वाद देकर हमें अनुग्रहित करें। माननीय संयुक्त निदेशक सर।
Good morning all. Welcome to SCRT. My colleague, Deputy Director Ritu Chaudhary ji, Science Wing in charge Suman Sharma ji, Language Wing and Curriculum and Textbook Department Hindu ji, SCRT faculty and all the students and the teachers and the DSS from the field. आज हम बात कर रहे हैं मिलेट्स के ऊपर। ये जो सेमिनार है ये साइंस पॉपुलराइजेशन का एक माध्यम है। साइंस पॉपुलराइजेशन से हमारा उद्देश्य है कि जो साइंस में हम रिसर्च के माध्यम से कुछ जानते हैं उसको दैनिक जीवन में प्रयोग करें। तो मिलेट्स पे जो आज हम सेमिनार करने जा रहे हैं इसमें कितने हम में से लोग हैं जो वाकई इस मिलेट्स को अपने रियल लाइफ में अपनाएंगे। आप में से कितने बच्चों ने पिछले 5 दिन में कोई भी मिलेट से रिलेटेड फूड लिया हो? कितने लोग हैं? तो ये 25% है। ये वो लोग हैं जो इस कार्यक्रम से पिछले 1 महीने से जुड़े हैं। आप में से कोई बताएगा इससे क्या फायदा होने वाला है? कोई भी एक बच्चा बताए इससे क्या फायदा है मिलेट से? बोलिए।
Sir, because of millets, we have multiple benefits in terms of health, sustainability, in reference to climate as well, and it can help the farmers as well. So this
फार्मर्स की हेल्प और क्लाइमेट की हेल्प क्या है इससे? कोई बताए आप?
सो क्लाइमेट की बेसिस पे से बहुत कम पानी कंज्यूम करते हैं और से पेस्टिसाइड्स की इनमें कोई ज़रूरत नहीं होती और से सॉइल डिप्लीशन को भी कंट्रोल करते हैं।
बहुत बढ़िया। और बेटी?
Sir, millets are photo-insensitive, pest-insensitive as well as drought-resistant. So we can grow millets in the drought areas also and they can give high yields as well. For example, the areas of Rajasthan.
Okay. और कोई और स्पेशल? अगर हम मिलेट्स ज़्यादा लेंगे तो क्या होगा फिर?
जैसा कि हमें पता है कि किसी भी चीज़ को मॉडरेट अमाउंट लेने पर ही किसी भी चीज़ का हमारे शरीर पर अच्छा असर होता है। तो अगर किसी भी चीज़ को यानी कि अगर हम लोग मिलेट्स को भी ज़्यादा अमाउंट में कंज्यूम करते हैं तो मिलेट्स के अंदर जो प्रेजेंट है गोइट्रोजन नामक कंपाउंड, उनकी वजह से हमें गोइटर नामक एक डिजीज़ हो सकती है।
राइट। ओके। यस।
So millets contain oxalic acid. If we consume millets in excessive, then they reduce the availability of calcium and which further impacts the fat content in your body. Moreover, if you consume millets in more amount, then they have the phytic acid, which our body is not able to consume the calcium and iron content by the small intestines.
Thank you. कोई और क्लास में? Okay. Now, आजकल हम जैसे मैंने अभी देखा कि 25% ही यूज कर रहे हैं, बाकी तो यूज ही नहीं कर रहे हैं। तो मिलेट्स अगर हम, जैसे इन्होंने कहा कि मॉडरेट अमाउंट में यूज करें, हम अगर वीक में 1 दिन 2 दिन फिक्स करें, डेली नहीं करें, तो कम से कम एक लिटिल अमाउंट, अगर हमारा 10% to 50% भी हमारा डाइट में अगर ये चेंज आ जाए, तो इससे क्या होने वाला है, जो अभी सभी ने बताया। हम गेहूं ज्यादा ले रहे हैं, चावल ज्यादा ले रहे हैं, जैसे अभी बताया कि पानी कम लगता है। अभी पीछे में एक मैगजीन में पढ़ रहा था कि अर्थ नेचुरली जितने रिसोर्सेज को हर साल कंपनसेट करती है, वो केवल 65% कर पाती है। यानी कि हम हर साल 35% ज्यादा यूज कर रहे हैं, चाहे वो पानी है चाहे बाकी चीजें हैं। तो हम ज्यादा से ज्यादा करते जाएंगे, और ये सब इसके बारे में सबको अवेयरनेस भी है कि ऐसा हो रहा है। तो कौन शुरुआत करेगा, कैसे शुरुआत होगी? ये जो ईयर है, ईयर ऑफ मिलेट्स, किस लिए? अगर सिर्फ नुकसान होता, जैसे अभी आप में से कुछ बच्चों ने पॉइंट आउट किया, तो ये वर्ल्ड मिलेट्स ईयर भी ना डिक्लेयर होता। मिलेट्स पे फोकस करने के बहुत सारे रीजन आपने बताए कि हमें मिलेट्स लेने से कम ये तो होगा कि अगर 10% भी हम खाना शुरू करते हैं, तो 10% राइस और व्हीट, इनका यूज कम हो जाएगा, कंजम्पशन कम हो जाएगा। तो इनमें क्योंकि पानी ज्यादा लगता है, तो कम से कम अर्थ का, वाटर का रिचार्जिंग जो है वो बेटर होगा। और आप सभी जानते हैं कि पहले हरियाणा में तो खासकर कि हम मिलेट्स ज्यादा यूज करते थे। अपने गेहूं तो बाद में है, पहले तो हम सारे ज्यादातर मोटे अनाज ही यूज करते थे और उन्हीं को खाते थे। और हमारे जो पूर्वज हैं, उनमें ऐसी कोई फिजिकल, कोई बहुत ज्यादा कोई जो प्रॉब्लम जैसे आपने काउंट कराई, ऐसा कोई विशेष नजर नहीं आया। तो ठीक है, साइंटिफिकली रिसर्च से अगर हमें पता लगा तो हम उसको मॉडरेट यूज करें, 100% यूज ना करें, 20%, 15%, 10%, 25%, एटलीस्ट फिक्स कर ले कि वीक में 1 दिन कोई एक डाइट, आहिस्ता आहिस्ता अगर ठीक लगे तो आगे बढ़ाएं, लेकिन इसकी ओर बढ़े। मतलब ये दोनों हमारे हेल्थ के लिए भी बेटर है, हमारे अर्थ के लिए, नेचर के लिए बेस्ट, जो कह सकते हैं कि हम अपने रिसोर्सेज को ज़्यादा बचाएं, ताकि हमारे आने वाले बच्चे, आने वाले जो जनरेशन है वो इसका फायदा उठा सके। और ये आज का दिन मैं एक बार फिर से कहना चाहता हूँ कि ये केवल सेमिनार का दिन नहीं है। इसका मकसद यही था कि हम अपने जीवन में इसको लागू करें, पॉपुलराइज करके हम उसको अपने जीवन में अपनाएं। आज आप सभी एक सेमिनार में अपने वक्तव्य को रखेंगे, अपनी बात को कहेंगे, लेकिन कहने के बाद उसका मकसद जो है वो अपनी रियल लाइफ में उसको अप्लाई करें। जो जिस वजह से, जिस पर्पस से गवर्नमेंट ऑफ इंडिया ने ये प्रोग्राम चलाया है, अभी जैसे मैम ने बता रहे थे कि G20 में भी बहुत सारे व्यंजन मिलेट्स बेस्ड रखे गए। तो वहाँ जब वर्ल्ड के जो टॉप लीडर्स थे, उनके सामने मिलेट्स को रखा गया है, तो इसका मतलब विशेष चीज है और इसको बढ़ावा देने के लिए रखा गया है। तो हर तरह से इसको पॉपुलराइज करने की कोशिश की जा रही है। तो खाली हम बातें ना कहें, इसको लागू करें और अपने जीवन में अपनाएं, और प्रण लें कि कम से कम वीक में 1 बार हम जरूर, और आहिस्ता आहिस्ता जितना मॉडरेट अमाउंट हम ले सकते हैं उतना हम अवश्य। धन्यवाद।
Ladies and gentlemen, judicious judges and dear friends, today I, Bhavya Banwal, from Code number 7, is here to delve into the topic millets, a superfood or a diet fad. family Poaceae. They are also known as the poor man's food grain and hold the ability to withstand a wide variety of harsh climates. Some types of millets are sorghum, ragi, bajra, and koto millet. Now, we shall address the scientific basis of millets as a superfood. Millets are rich reservoirs of complex carbohydrates. They also offer a lower glycemic index than wheat or rice, making them good for diabetic patients. A study conducted on foxtail millets found that integrating the millet into the diet of subjects for 12 weeks led to a decline in both the fasting and the 2-hour glucose as shown in the graph. Millets provide us with 11.6% of plant-based protein and enrich us with the essential amino acids lysine and methionine. Millets are copious sources of micronutrients, vitamins B1, B2, B3, B9, and minerals calcium, magnesium, iron, and zinc. These micronutrients play vital roles in our body, such as brain functioning, immune responses, bone health, and RBC production. Millets, notably finger and koto millets, are rich in antioxidants, which prevent our body cells from oxidative stress and inflammation by reducing the number of harmful free radicals which may potentially cause diseases like cancer and diabetes. Millets are also gluten-free, which makes them an excellent choice for individuals with gluten sensitivities or celiac disease. In celiac disease, the intestinal lining is damaged by the consumption of gluten, thus reducing the surface area for nutrient absorption. Millets also provide us unsaturated fats, omega-3 and omega-6, which are crucial for our heart health and cognitive functioning. In an attempt to eradicate calcium deficiency, researchers are using finger millets for calcium biofortification. It is the richest source of calcium amongst all cereals as shown in this graph. It has 344 milligrams of calcium per 100 grams of it, more than wheat, brown rice, corn or barley. Millets also provide us 8 to 9% of dietary fiber. This dietary fiber in our gut attracts water and forms a gel-like substance which slows digestion and delays gastric emptying, making millets an optimal pick for individuals trying to lose weight. This gel also absorbs LDL, low-density lipoprotein, and decreases its levels in our blood. If this LDL deposits in our arteries, it may potentially cause diseases like atherosclerosis. As per some studies, millet consumption can also raise the HDL, high-density lipoprotein levels in our blood. Millets, particularly finger and pearl millets, are rich in beta-carotene. Beta-carotene is a provitamin essential for the synthesis of vitamin A in our body. Vitamin A is vital for good vision, a strong immunity, and a healthy skin. Now, we shall be discussing about health risks of millets for certain diseases. Thyroid disorders. Goitrogens are compounds present in millets which may interfere in the thyroid functioning. Digestive issues. Fibers present abundantly in millets may pose a harm for individuals with digestive disorders like IBS, irritable bowel syndrome. Allergies. Individuals with millet allergies must not consume millets as it might lead to an immune response, leading to wheezing, hives, watery eyes, or even an anaphylactic shock, which may be life-threatening. Individuals with such diseases must consult with nutritionists before they integrate millets into their diets. To culminate, I firmly believe that millets are a superfood. Yes, they are, because they are bountiful sources of all of the major dietary components and are notably rich in dietary fibers, antioxidants, and micronutrients. Also, they are gluten-free. All of these traits make them nutritional powerhouses. In an attempt to raise awareness regarding millets, or the lost crops as they call them, because of the lack of attention they deserve, this year, 2023, is being recognized as the International Year of Millets. We all can become a part of this initiative by encouraging ourselves and others around us to integrate millets into our lives. Thank you for having me here today. Wishing you all a day that's as hearty and fulfilling as a bowl of millet porridge. Thank you.
अपना नाम एक बार फिर से बता
Bhavya Kunnal.
भव्या
Yes, sir.
your presentation you have shown lot of science content
Yes, sir.
like so you seem to have a lot of interest in biology or life sciences.
Yes, sir.
So just a small query about the amino acids. You have used terms like essential amino acids.
Yes, sir.
So what do you mean by essential amino acids and non-essential
Yes.
amino acids? Do you know about it?
Yes, sir. Actually, there are 20 amino acids, out of which some are not synthesized in our body and some are. So, those which are not synthesized in our body are known as essential amino acids, and we must consume them through the food we take to fulfill the requirements in our body.
Which are the foods which are deficient in lysine?
Deficient in lysine. Meat and fish are rich in protein, so they are rich in lysine. Wheat and rice, I believe, are not rich in essential amino acids, such as lysine. Yes.
Good afternoon everyone. Today my topic is millets, a superfood or a diet fad. As we know that India declared 2018 as the National Year of Millets, and millets were rebranded as the Nutri cereals in that year. Following a proposal from India, United Nations General Assembly has declared 2023 as the International Year of Millets. This initiative aim is to raise their awareness and to promote their consumption worldwide. Now, the question arises, what are millets? Millets are a group of small seeded grasses that have been cultivated for thousands of years. They are hardy crops that can grow in arid and marginal lands requiring less water and fertilizers than other staple grains. This makes them an ideal crop for small-scale farmers, especially in those areas affected by land degradation and water scarcity. Types of millets. Types of millets. According to Food Safety and Standards Authority of India, millets are classified into major millets and minor millets based on their grain size. Sorghum, pearl millet and finger millet are the major millets. Foxtail millet, proso millet, kodo millet, barnyard millet, little millet are the minor millets. There is another class of the millets also, the pseudo millets, which are nutritionally similar and must be acknowledged as valuable in this context. Buckwheat and amaranth are the pseudo millets. As we have talked that millets are a group of small seeded grasses that have been cultivated for thousands of years. Now, let us move to an example that proves that millets are old grains. There are several evidences of the consumption of millets during Indus Valley civilization. Now, we can imagine that how old are the millets. Let us move to our next topic. There must be a question in your mind that why millets are called the Nutri cereals, why they were rebranded as the Nutri cereals. Well, millets have earned the reputation of being a Nutri cereals as they provide most of the nutrients essential for the functioning of the human body. The protein, vitamin, minerals that the millets provides makes them a superfood. They are rich in antioxidants. They help in weight loss, control diabetes and improves immunity. They are naturally gluten-free, making it a better option for the people with gluten intolerance. Now, let us move to the health benefits of some of the millets. Pearl millet is rich in iron, magnesium and zinc and is used for making porridges and flatbreads in Africa and India. Finger millet, also known as ragi, is rich in calcium and antioxidant. It is widely consumed in southern India and East Africa. Sorghum is rich in antioxidants such as phenolic acid. It also contains the goodness of iron that is important for the immunity. Foxtail millet is an example of minor millet. It is also packed with fiber, protein and vitamin B12, which is essential for the heart. It is widely consumed in Japan, China and Korea. Despite millets' many health benefits, millets have also some drawbacks. Now, let us move to the drawbacks of the millets. Millets contain anti-nutrients that may reduce the absorption of other nutrients in our body and that may also lead to deficiencies. Millet contain nitrogens, that's why it reduces the absorption of iodine in our body, and that's why there is a need to consume millets an appropriate amount. Despite millets' many health benefits, millets have been largely neglected in big cities and food systems, partly due to the shift on other cereal crops. This International Year of Millets seeks to change this by promoting millets as a nutritious and sustainable food choice for all. Thank you. Ma'am,
Beta, according to you, millets is super food or a diet fat? According to you, why?
So because millets have many health benefits, it contains calcium, protein, and the protein, the amount of protein is more in millets than rice and wheat. And secondly, it's also good for our next generation because as the estimation, the next generation would face the global crisis such as water scarcity. That's why millets is also good.
You are saying that they are antioxidants. What do you mean by antioxidant? You were talking about antioxidants.
So antioxidants are the agent that prevents the oxidation in our body.
And so how it helps in that?
सर जब हमारी बॉडी में जब कोई भी मेटाबॉलिज्म एक्टिविटी होती है, बायोकेमिकल एक्टिविटीज होती हैं, तब जो रेडिकल्स बन जाते हैं, अनस्टेबल एटम्स जो होते हैं, वो हमारी बॉडी के मॉलिक्यूल से इलेक्ट्रॉन्स लेते हैं अपने आप को स्टेबल करने के लिए, और जो जिस मॉलिक्यूल
इस क्लास में आप हैं?
सर 10
Respected jury and everyone present here, I am Pratish Shalok, bearing the code 29. Today we convene here to delve deep into the fascinating realm of millets, a topic that transcends the culinary world and extends into the spheres of health, sustainability and cultural preservation. Our discourse framed under the banner millets, a superfood or a diet fad, promises to be a voyage through the scientific landscapes. I firmly believe that they are a superfood. So in order to ponder why millets can be super for us, let's divide the discussion under 4 headers: health, tradition, climate, SDGs and economy. Firstly, we find ourselves at a critical juncture in human history, where WHO's report claims a potential 6-year reduction in our life expectancy by 2030 due to over-reliance on the fast foods, and the ensuing epidemic of lifestyle diseases, notably hypertension and diabetes. But researchers propose a beacon of hope: the incorporation of millets. A cadre of grains rich in magnesium, which as the scientific narrative unfolds, plays a pivotal role in insulin regulation and reduces the risk of type 2 diabetes. We can also infer from here that millets contain high amount of magnesium. The enigmatic ragi millet. A paragon of this grain family stands distinguished for its niacin acid content because it helps in skeletal fortification and cholesterol modulation. Do you guys want to boost up your brain? Yes. Beyond this, millets serve as an excellent source of amino acids, which are the building block of proteins, thereby catalyzing the synthesis of vital neurotransmitters in your brain and hence helping in cognitive development. The second discourse takes us to the cultural conflicts and the diversity. India is a country which has multiple cultural cuisines. Now let's take example from Karnataka itself, where festival named as Sankranti is celebrated and dish named as Elevelu graces the table, which is also made with the millets. Now you might be pondering that why do we eat millets during fast? This is because consuming high fiber foods like millets control the secretion of hormones in our body which regulate appetite. For example, the secretion of ghrelin, which is the hunger hormone, may be reduced, while the secretion of cholecystokinin, CCK, may be increased, hence giving us a feeling of fullness and reducing our hunger pangs during the fasting periods. In the epic of Mahabharata as well, Bhim's favorite dish was Vidur ki thali, which was also prepared with the noble bajra millet. Now you again might ponder why he made that. It is because millets contain high amount of non-starchy polysaccharides and dietary fibers and comprise 65 to 75% carbohydrates, hence giving more energy than wheat and rice. Yet even as we celebrate this ironic that while we Indians are getting fascinated towards the waste of the West, the rest of the world is busy exploring the untapped potential of millets. The third facet of our disclosure takes us to the awakening call from United Nations Environment Programme, UNEP, threatening us about unsustainable agricultural practices. Millets emerge as a beacon of sustainability because of their climate resilience and minimal water requirement. Now, millets are also helpful in reducing the pesticide usage as well, and hence they solve the problem of eutrophication and biomagnification. Millets, with their thermophilic and xerophilic attributes, hold the promise of fortifying our lives as well as bolstering our environment. Hence, through these, we can prove that they are also the foods of the future. Now, the fourth facet takes us to the economic tapestry woven by millets. Millets are sustainable for farmers as well. Because of their high yield to land ratios, because they have the process of cross-pollination, they produce seeds in abundance and variability, hence helping the farmers. Also, millets have a process of C4 cycle of photosynthesis, which endow them with higher photosynthetic rates and lower somatic conductance, thereby potentially reducing our dependence over irrigation and helping in realization of SDG 6. Millets are also helpful for SDG 2, 3, 8, 13, and 50, thereby proving that they have a direct relatability with our environment. However, amidst our accolades, we also accept that millets might not be sustainable for all. For example, individuals grappling to hypothyroidism should not consume millets, and it may interfere with their iodine absorption and may cause diseases such as goiter. So it becomes important that we broaden our dietary canvas so that we can include millets in a broader way. It is important that we also innovate and disseminate easy to prepare millet-based recipes so that we can include them in our daily diet. Lastly, government can also take certain steps like introducing millets under the PM Poshan scheme, which is the midday meal scheme, and introducing millets under PSD, which is the public distribution system, PDS, under Antyodaya Anna Yojana. Let's not forget the power of change lies in our grasp. So let's come together to celebrate the goodness of millets and encourage them as the foods of the future and make a sustainable environment for us and the generations yet to born. Thank you.
In the previous slide, this next slide, this eutrophication and biomagnification. What millets have, what roles they have in eutrophication and biomagnification?
Yes, sir. Answer to this, first we need to understand that what is biomagnification.
We understand that. Please tell us.
Yes. So millets actually consume less pesticides and fertilizers. Thereby, the chemical fertilizers are now going in less amount to the seeds and thus reducing the process of eutrophication and biomagnification. And eutrophication and biomagnification is a direct relatability to our health because both of these two cycles end to us only. Hence, it helps us in keeping our health good.
I want to see your previous slide of the nutrients. The nutrients. Yeah. You have mentioned the range of magnesium. This is 84 to 566 milligrams. What so much of range?
Ma'am, actually, this is a data by NIH, which is the National Institute of Health, and it signifies that ragi millet also has certain identities and examples under that. So that depends over the qualities of ragi and the magnesium content also varies.
Thank you.
सबसे पहले मैं आप सभी को चंद्रयान 3 की लैंडिंग और भारत के पहले सोलर मिशन आदित्य L1 की लॉन्चिंग की बधाई देती हूँ। आदरणीय निर्णायक मंडल, अध्यापकगण एवं मेरे प्रिय साथियों, आप सभी को मेरा सादर प्रणाम। मैं राधिका, कोड नंबर 44, आप सभी के समक्ष सरकार द्वारा चलाए गए मिशन मिलेट ए सुपर फूड और डाइट फैट विषय पर अपने विचार प्रस्तुत करने जा रही हूँ। जैसा कि आप सभी जानते ही हैं, भारतवर्ष और कई अन्य देश वर्ष 2023 को अंतर्राष्ट्रीय पोषक अनाज वर्ष के रूप में मना रही हैं। लेकिन क्यों? क्योंकि सरकार हमारे देश के लोगों में मिलेट के प्रति जागरूकता लाना चाहती है ताकि लोग मिलेट को अपने आहार में बढ़ाएं और अपने स्वास्थ्य को स्वस्थ बनाएं। मिलेट, जिसे लोग मोटा अनाज, कतरन जिनकी जानकारी हमें मिलेट मैन ऑफ इंडिया पद्मश्री डॉक्टर खादर वली जी से प्राप्त हुई है। मिलेट को उसके आकार के आधार पर 2 भागों में बांटा गया है, छोटे दाने वाले अनाज और मोटे दाने वाले अनाज। मोटे दाने वाले अनाज में हम बाजरा, ज्वार, रागी आदि को गिनते हैं और छोटे दाने वाले अनाज में हम कोदो, कंगनी, कुटकी, सामा, चेना को सम्मिलित करते हैं। मिलेट का साइंटिफिक नेम पेनिसेटम ग्लूकम है। विश्व में मिलेट के उत्पादक देश भारत, नाइजीरिया और अन्य एशियाई और अफ्रीका देश हैं, जिनमें भारत की उत्पादकता दर सबसे अधिक है, जो कि 170 किलो टन प्रति वर्ष है। भारत में मिलेट के उत्पादक राज्य हैं राजस्थान में सबसे ज्यादा मिलेट का उत्पादन किया जाता है, जो कि 27% है। महाराष्ट्र में 15%, उत्तर प्रदेश में 14%, कर्नाटक में 13% और अन्य राज्यों में मिलेट का उत्पादन किया जाता है। मिलेट को अकाल रिजर्व भी कहा जाता है, क्योंकि हम इसे स्टोर करके भी रख सकते हैं। मिलेट को चमत्कारी अनाज और भविष्य की फसल के नाम से भी जाना जाता है, क्योंकि इसे सिर्फ अनुकूल परिस्थितियों में ही नहीं बल्कि कठोर परिस्थितियों में भी उगाया जा सकता है। मिलेट सूखे क्षेत्रों, वर्षाधारित क्षेत्रों, पहाड़ी क्षेत्रों, तटीय क्षेत्रों आदि देशों में उत्पन्न होने की क्षमता रखता है। मिलेट कम मेहनत में, कम सिंचाई में तैयार किया जा सकता है। इसे धान की पराली की तरह जलाना भी नहीं पड़ता, क्योंकि इसकी पराली को हम पशुओं के चारे के रूप में काम में ला सकते हैं। मिलेट में अनेक प्रकार के पोषक तत्व पाए जाते हैं, जो हमें अनेक बीमारियों से लड़ने में सहायता प्रदान करते हैं। इसमें पाए जाने वाला विटामिन, फास्फोरस, कैल्शियम, पोटेशियम, आयरन हमें अनेक बीमारियों से लड़ने में सहायता प्रदान करता है। इसमें ओमेगा 3 पाया जाता है, जो हमारे हृदय, मस्तिष्क और नेत्र के लिए भी बहुत अच्छा होता है। मिलेट ग्लूटेन फ्री होता है। इसमें पाए जाने वाले सभी पोषक तत्व हमें हृदय रोग